had issues with my computer, which is where I was trying to do the live from. So I had to come back to my cell to do it. And yeah, so I'm here now. Just a second, and I need to try to find the link to share. Ba, 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 ba. And I don't see that. I got to love technology for sure. Totally have to love it. But anyway, that's where we are right now. So I am going to send a message real quick on Facebook just to let everybody know that they're going to have to find me a little differently today. And once we do that, then I'll go ahead and get started. So bear with me for just a second, just a few minutes longer. I know it's already been longer than we expected, but I'll put you right here while I get on Facebook real quick. Oh, you're finding me. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Hi. I was like, they're not going to find me. Um, so I am going to delete this post that I put on with a link because that link doesn't work. And then I'm going to have you guys come over on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to start this up. We're a few minutes late. I apologize again for that. But I do have questions that were sent over for me today, and we will go ahead and get those started. So, um, first, hi. I see you changed your name. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Um, so let me go ahead and get started in the event that, hi, people are coming in. Make sure you say hello. Let me know that you're there. Tell me where you're joining me from today. I'm well. Thank you so much. I'm well. All right. Thank you. Oh, do I? I never thought that. I've never heard that one before. So, all right, great. So let me go ahead and get into it because I'm late getting started, and again I apologize for that. Technical difficulties, as is always fun. But thank you, Winter on Pause. Thank you so much. I appreciate you subscribing. If there's anyone on today that has not subscribed, please let me know. I'd love for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I will do weekly posts on home decor items, DIY things that you can do for your home. And so today, what I'm getting into is questions and answers. So over the last week, I've asked people to send over questions that they might have about crafting and designing about my business, and I promised to answer those today. So please uh, say hello once you jump on, and then also let me know if you have any questions that I don't answer today or haven't gotten already. So the first question I have is when did I start my business? So, in 2023 is when I actually started making wreaths, but I didn't start my business until, well, actually 2022, but I didn't start my business until the summer of 2023. So, yes, I started my business in 2023 in the summer in August. which is like the hottest month in Texas, which is where I live. But that is when I started my business. Another question that I had was, do you like making one type of design over another? Um, I started doing this with as a project for people that used to work with me that were leaving the company, and I wanted to design something for each of them that was specifically hi. Oh, you're from Brazil. Awesome. I started making things that were specifically for them, and I was using like a wireframe wreath for that. And so I decided then that I really loved it and started using different types of just wreath bases. My favorite, I think, are swags, just because it gives you so much room to make, you know, to make your design. So I love that. And it's just great. I like your question. Um, and I will get to that in just a second. So I'm going to answer this right now. What kind of strategies are you using in your business? I'm still learning. This is still new to me. But I am learning. I'm doing strategies in such a way that I am participating in I have other design groups, classes that I'm in, so I can learn more about the business side of things. Um, I I think the first strategy, of course, is understanding your audience. Who are you making these designs for? So you need to know that. You also need to learn, what your budgets are for, how you're doing your designs and that sort of thing. So strategy is still like something that's ongoing. It changes with your seasons, it changes with your audience, it changes, based on opportunities that you have. So for right now, I'm really focused on building my YouTube community. Um, I'm offering tutorials there. Someone asked a question, how do you learn, you know, how do you learn, or how much does it cost to learn how to make designs? You can learn some things free by watching other designers on YouTube that are doing tutorials. You can also join a business group um, where you're in a design team and you're learning from one another on what's the latest and greatest, how people are making things, what they look like, where they're getting their supplies from, and all of that. So do you do way bills? Currently, I do not ship outside of the US. I didn't I haven't crossed that bridge yet. So maybe if I continue to grow my business and I have um, a larger request for things to be shipped out of country, I'll start doing that. Um, my objectives for that I want to achieve with this business, of course, I want to always have fun. That's important to me. This is not my full-time job, but if I could get to the point that I can design crafts and home decor and sell enough of it to make this my full-time business, I would love to do that. That would be just fantastic. It's such a um, relaxing process for me to design. It's a creative outlet for me. I love that, being able to just get out there and make things that come to mind. Someone asked a question about how do I come up with themes to design my um, oh, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm reading and trying to talk. Someone asked me, how do I come across the themes that I I do? And sometimes it's just as simple as I see something somewhere, maybe a color that I really like, or I see something that I think, oh, that'd be a really cool attachment. And those things you know, end up inspiring me to make a design. So the themes, are just kind of, and sometimes it's that someone has a request. So, satin versus silk, which is your favorite? Are you talking about from a ribbon perspective? It would definitely be the satins. So, if it's something I'm wearing, probably silk. um, I am the only one designing. So I am a one person business. SDC Wreaths for You is just me. Sometimes I get my daughters to help me do some stuff, but mostly it's just me doing this. So I don't have any employees. Um, Another question I had someone asked me was how do you secure your attachments on your wreaths? So um, it depends on the attachment. So if it's a sign, it depends on whether or not it is a wooden or metal sign or if it's plastic. Metal signs, you can attach those with floral wire. So you end up using um, a metal hole punch if it didn't already have um, holes in the design in the sign. You could do that, or you could use what we call their cable mounts, and so they're little squares that you can buy at any hardware store. They have them. They're adhesive, so they've got glue on one side, and then on the top, it's got like four entrances where you could put either Chanel sticks, pipe cleaners, or floral wire through to secure the attachment. Um, Another question, what are some of your favorite tools to use when crafting? I think, of course, I love my bow maker. I have to have that. I do use, of course, my glue gun. I have a wireless one, or cordless one, so I love that. Um, I can't get much done without my wire cutters or my deco mesh cutter. Um, I definitely need this when I'm working. Um, I think a lot of you have seen me use a crochet hook. It's a needle that I use um, that helps me get things through my mesh. Though, of course, I have to have really good quality scissors. So those are the types of tools that I love and use. I even have, this is what I use actually when I'm cutting ribbon because it helps with getting the right length of ribbon that I need in bulk cuts so that I can do that. I have a lot of tools that I use, and they're just they're really helpful. Um, how can one learn these designs perfectly? Is there such a thing as perfect? I don't know. Definitely learning designs takes practice. So, I look back at some of the things that I did when I first started in 2023 or the end of 2022 and compare it to what I do now, it's totally different. Totally different. So, it varies. Um, Someone asks, is the business making a profit? Right now when I'm filing my taxes, it's showing that I spend more than I make. So I guess that would be a no. Honestly, at this point, that's not uncommon when you start because, again, you've got to learn who your audience is. You've got to have access to different clientele. You've got to build your clientele. So that does take time. There's a rule of thumb typically that, the first 5 years of your business, If it's not a franchise or a chain or something like that, then the first 5 years of your business, you're really just in it to try to get it going. So if I get to that point that I'm not making a profit after 5 years, then I'll be like, okay, no, I need to just do this for fun, and that's it. Um, Someone asked, how can you start a business? It's just really you deciding that that's what you want to do. So you start, making designs. I strongly, strongly recommend that you sit down and really think about what it is that you want to accomplish. Is it just to, pay a few bills, or is it to be able to pay for your family vacation, or is it to pay for everything? What is it that, what is it that your goal is in the end? What is it you're trying to do? And once you can determine that, then you need to start thinking about, your audience. Who is it that you want to sell to? What types of designs do you want to do? You need to think about, um, you know, your business plan as far as how you're going to finance this, knowing that in the beginning you're going to invest more than you're going to make. How do you go about all of that? Um, and all of that plays into how you get started. Um, do you have an all-time inspiration for designs, like that one design that you consistently do without getting tired of? I rarely create the same thing twice. If I have a client that has asked for me to make double wreaths or swags or whatever because they have two doors and they want to have the same thing on each door, I'll duplicate. But other than that, my designs typically are one of a kind. I don't copy them. I might use similar colors or florals in multiple designs, but they don't look alike. They don't look alike. I've had customers tell me, hey, I saw you made this for someone else. Can you make it for me? And I always tell them I need creative license. I can do similar colors. I can do, similar a similar theme, but it's not going to look just like that one because I did not create it with the intent of making more than one. So I'll take creative license with that. And most of the time they're pretty good about that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I do try really hard to make sure everything is done very well, very professionally, and that it will make my customers want to come back for more. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, Another question that I have is, do I teach others how to make wreaths or other decor virtually? I live too far away to attend an in-person class. I do, yes. I do teach virtually. I give one-on-one time to clients that want to learn how to do a design. So if they reach out to me either via my email address, which is info at SDC Wreaths for you, or if they reach out to me on Facebook or YouTube with a comment or DM telling me that they want to learn, then we schedule some time to do that. I do charge a fee for that because it's part of my business, right? I'm trying to grow my business, and if I teach you how to do it, then you don't need me to do it in the future. So I do charge a fee, but it gives them all of the materials that they need and the tools that they'll need, and then they have my undivided attention for up to 2 hours while we design what it is that they've decided they want to learn how to design. So yeah, I do that. Um, Another question that was asked was about my suppliers. Do I do local suppliers, or how does that work? It really depends. It varies. I've gotten things from the Dollar Tree. I've gotten things from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, which are, craft stores here in the US. But, I also order things online because I am a business. I have a license and am able to order things wholesale. So I will do that. Some of the vendors that I use from a wholesale perspective are like Simmons Pottery, LA Ribbons. There are a couple of other ones that are flying around in my head that I can't grab right now. But if you're a wholesaler and you're interested in knowing who you can get supplies from, just send me a message and let me know. But it's perfectly fine to go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, Michael's. Joann's is going out of business here, but they do have supplies. Um, if you're in Texas, Craft Text is awesome to walk in and actually, shop in. So um, do that. Color is usually used contextually. Most of the time, my question is, how do you use red contextually? Um, a lot of times, in context, you can use red for Valentine's Day, for 4th of July, which is Independence Day here in the US, and of course for Christmas. Then, outside of that, you can still use red if someone has a theme that is red based. I know that there are sororities that use red um, as their color pattern for their logo and stuff. So, if I were making a Delta design, for instance, then I would use red. It is a common color. Red is a common color, but it's not one that I use, every month even. I mean, unless it's, Valentine's Day is a lot of reds and pinks with white. Christmas season is a lot of reds as well. Although I tend to go with other colors because red is so popular. Um, so that's how that goes. Um, how do you communicate with your customers when they need urgent work? Well, if I have a lead time, so depending on whether or not I have all of the materials, um, I usually tell them I need, like a 3 week window. I like to say that, knowing that more times than not, in about a week and a half, I can get it delivered to them. So I'd rather tell them it's going to be 3 weeks and deliver it in a week and a half than tell them it's going to be a week and a half and it takes longer, because then they'd be disappointed. So, but if there were something that they needed, like rush, like, I had one customer that needed a design within a week. We just have to work together to see if I already have something on hand that I can use to meet their needs. So that's how that goes. Um, what keeps inspiring me? Just the opportunity to do something new. I mean, it's like I said, I never make the same thing twice unless someone specifically asks for that up front. So it's really nice just to be able to be creative. I'm a DIY or a do it yourself person anyway. I really enjoy making new things, whether it be, home decor that, I sell, or something even for myself. I mean, I've done my countertops, I've redone those with epoxy. I've done flooring in my house. I've done window treatments in my home. I'll paint the walls at any given time a different color. So I just like that creative outlet of doing crafting and design. So I'm inspired just by things I see, it just makes me want to do something nice or nicer than what I saw. What's my favorite color? I'll give you a guess. It's on my face. It's, usually in my clothes. It's my phone. It's my ring. It's all kinds of, my favorite color is purple. I love purple. That's my mesh cutters, purple, wherever I can find purple to do what I do, then I'm doing it. I love purple. That's my absolute favorite color. So thanks for asking. Um, Another question I have was actually about doing live classes in person. I do offer those for small groups. We also have what we call wine and wreath parties. I say we, as in we, the business, as in me. So I will do uh, small trainings or a small class. Um, for individuals or groups, either as a party, like I said, with the wine and wreath, or as an actual just a straight class, which I have have posted things online that show you that the classes that I've done. So I enjoy that, and with my classes, I do bring all of the supplies. So all you have to do is come yourself and be ready to learn something new. So that's always fun. I enjoy that. Yes, purple is my favorite color. Epoxy in the US, it depends on how much you need. It can be pretty pricey. I think when I'm doing my projects like the countertop or whatever, I just need uh, one of each resin of the A and the B part, and it's about 65, $70 for that between the two. So it just kind of depends. Yes, even the glasses. Um, Another question I had, someone asked about, when they make a design, they it they consider it having been a failure. Um, it's really important to know that anything you design is just the process of learning. You have to practice, just like anything else, to get really, really good with it. So if you are um, new to doing home decor, I strongly suggest that you find some designers that do things in similar styles that you like, and that you follow them. I hope you'll follow me on both Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, both of which are SDC Wreaths for you. Um, just find somebody that you like what they do, and that can give you tips and tricks, and then you can practice on your own and do better and better with each design. I mean, I'll tell you, I go back again, I look at things that I made in 2022 versus things that I'm making today, and it's night and day. It looks totally different, and it's just the time that I put in, um, and to practice. Um, yes, please share if you haven't already shared um, the stream. And yes, please stay active, both on Facebook and viewing the videos that I've put out on YouTube. If you haven't checked those, please go back and take a look at the things that I've already put on YouTube. I really appreciate the support. That's also part of growing my business, is having more and more people discover me, to know that I'm here and that I am available to design things for them or teach them how to do things. So please do continue to share. Um, let's see, another question that I had was, what is the most challenging um, item I've created, design I've created? I'm gonna assume that this was someone wanting to um, know about my business side of things. And I would say I did a peppermint swag, which was a custom order for someone this past Christmas. And that was really a challenge. I did it live, which I was really pushing myself. But it was challenging because of all of the attachments, and I wasn't sure how they were going to uh, line up and stay attached. So that's anything where I'm having to thank you for subscribing. Anything that I'm having to attach to a design, especially if there's a lot of attachments, those are challenging for me. And then swags, just because you have so much space, they're exciting because you do have so much space to design, but you want to make sure that um, have everything lined up where it's aesthetically pleasing and people um, enjoy, seeing what you've done so that it's not just a big jumble of stuff. So, um, yeah, that was another question that I had. Anybody else have any more questions? I'll give you a couple of seconds before I go to the last question that I had previously before we joined. Actually, let me look over here because I think somebody just sent something else. Hold on just one second. Let's see. I answered that. Okay, someone asked if I make custom wreaths, and if so, what information do I need to create one? So if someone is wanting a custom design, again, they can email me at info@SDC Wreaths for you, or they can send me a message on Facebook or YouTube and let me know that they're interested in a custom design. Once they've told me what they're looking for, then I will communicate with them, what I can do as far as the timing, the cost, and all that good stuff. And then we go from there. So that's how that works. Someone asked, is there such a thing as wreath burnout? I'm sure there is, but I haven't made it to that point yet. So I'm still really enjoying this. I think if it ever became where I felt like I was just having to do it and I wasn't enjoying it anymore, then I would consider that a time for me to really consider doing something different. But right now I'm loving it. So I don't have wreath burnout. With colors, do shades ever get confusing as you get client requests? Yes. I've had some customers ask for some color combinations that I would never dream of putting together. They just, don't complement each other, or I don't think they look good together. However, if my customer asks for specific colors, they can choose up to 3 different colors that I'll work with. So, if someone came to me and said, hey, I really, I want to do this brown with peach and purple, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but if they if that's what they ask for and that's what they're paying for, that's what I'll do. But if they give me creative license, I'll give them, some recommendations on what would be more aesthetically, pleasing, what blends better together, and that sort of thing. Um, Another question: how long does it take to typically create uh, a custom wreath from start to finish? So once I have all of the materials together and on hand, it takes me maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending on, whether it's um, a wireframe wreath or a grapevine or a evergreen wreath or a swag. All of those, the swags take longer because there's more area to cover, but I'm usually done. It doesn't take me usually more than like an hour and 15 minutes if I have everything that I need on hand. Um, can someone tell you how to decide on the design and theme for a wreath. That's what I consider a custom order. If someone's telling me what they want as their theme, so they may say, "Hey, I want a beach theme," and so that's what I'll create. So yeah, I definitely design based on the themes that my clients want for custom designs. Um, can wreaths be used outside of the holidays or only strictly for festive seasons? You can have a wreath any day, any month, any season of the year. Wreaths aren't just for the holidays at all. I create, everyday wreaths, which are wreaths that can be up all year. I create just, specific, themes that maybe aren't around, don't have anything to do with the holiday. So yeah, there's nothing at all to say that wreaths are only for the holidays, nor are they only for the outdoor. I mean, you can put a wreath inside, on over your fireplace or on a wall in an area that maybe have a theme going and you just want to have like, I'll show you this one. This wreath is on my wall. Oops, let's see if I can get there. This wreath is on my wall in my house, and this is one of the first ones I made, and I just love the colors. I love peacocks. And so I made this one, and it's actually on the wall in my home. So it's not like, you have to make a wreath for just your front door. I have one on my window as well. For this spring season, I made a floral cross. If you would, go back and look at, if you'll go back and look at my either YouTube or Facebook page, you'll see that floral cross that I made. It's like 5.5 feet tall, and I have it on my tree in the front yard for this season. So there's all different types of designs and different ways to use them. What kind of wreath would you create for Easter? I've done quite a few. Actually, I have one over here. My room is like crazy. Right now I've got all kinds of stuff going on everywhere. But let's see if I can get over here for you to see this one. I made this one for Easter. Let me get a little closer. I made this one for Easter, so it's got bunnies in it. And sorry about that. Boys, someone is outside. My dogs have decided to let me know. Hey, shh. Cannon, hush. The beauty of alive. Woo, you get to hear the dogs in action. Cannon, no. Come here. Cannon. He's my bad boy. I have two labs, one chocolate lab and one black lab. And my black lab, he's like Mr. Protector, Mr. Protector. He's really loud. And then I also have my parents-in-law's dog living with us now, and he's a Shih Tzu and he's a barker. So sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. I can't promise they won't do it again. It's just random. They hear something outside and want to make sure I know somebody's around. Let me see. I had another question. I think it got skipped. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Somebody asked about the types of wreaths. Again, as I said a little earlier, you may not have been on yet. But we have like the wire framed wreaths. If you'll bear with me, I'll grab one. Hold on just a second. Okay. So we have these wireframe wreaths. They come in different sizes. It could be I think it's 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 24 inch round wire wreaths. They come in different sizes or shapes as well. So like this one is a heart shape. I use these during the holidays. We have wooden ones as well. Wooden wreaths. Just to show you. So this is a wooden wreath where you can also design against on this. I have swags, which I have a swag right here to show you. So swag looks like a long teardrop. They come in different sizes. So this one is a 36-inch swag, but they have 30, 32, 24. I think 20 is the smallest swag that I've seen. And it's just the shape that is the reason that's called a swag. So, and then of course there are the evergreen ones that, um, sorry, I'm moving around so I can show you stuff. There are evergreen ones that are round that have that same pine. Um, and then you can also have what we call grapevines. So the brown part of this is a grapevine. It just has some florals added to it on the other side. But this is a grapevine wreath. And it can be different sizes as well. I've seen some as small as 3 inches around all the way up to I think I saw 30-inch round grapevine. So those change as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So yeah. Let me see if there was any other questions on here that I haven't answered yet. Someone said they're good at making home decor and designing curtains. I can't do curtains. I don't sew. I'm not a seamstress. So um, good for you. I wish I could, but I can't. Uh, Let me see. Someone asked about finding the right materials. And again, it's subject to what you like to do. So if you've got, you know, I mean, attachments, and I guess the best thing to do is to know what you're starting with. So, for instance, if this person was wanting to make a wreath, you really need to, pick quality mesh. I mean, this is just, one color of many. But you need to make sure that you have quality mesh, some that doesn't unravel. So some of the less expensive mesh sometimes doesn't do well in wreaths because it frays on the ends really badly. So pick quality products. That's a big deal when you're making something. You want to make sure that it's quality, even if it's not expensive. Just make sure it's quality. When you go to like a Dollar Tree or something like that, a store like that, they have the little 6-inch mesh. So this is a 10-inch mesh. So it's 10 inches long and it's 10 yards of it. But Dollar Tree sells 6-inch mesh, and it's 10 yards long, but it's 6 inches. But their mesh, if you're not careful, you'll get some that's really, frayed already before you even get it home. So you need to be mindful of that kind of thing. Um, but just knowing um, that you're starting out with good material will help you to design something that'll come out well, or what better than what it would if you were using something that wasn't good quality. Um, are there any particular techniques for bending and shaping a grapevine? I do not bend grapevines because they're small pieces of wood that have been twisted already. So the only ones that I would ever try to shape are the evergreens that are on the round evergreens, or the wire frames that I showed earlier. Because you can, I call it hugging, but you basically take the ends and you can push them toward each other to change the overall shape. So it goes from a circle to an oval, or you may actually, shape it where it's more narrow at one point, at the bottom or the top, because of the pressure that you put on to push it together. But if you try to do that with a grapevine, you're gonna break it. It's gonna break. So don't do that on a grapevine, but you can do it with wire or your evergreen round bases. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions? I think I got through all the ones I saw online. Yeah, I don't think I have any more that are online questions. But anything else? Anybody else? If not, I am going to let you all get back to your day. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with me today. I am gonna try to do more, just sit down and chat lives versus, um, ones that are, I'm definitely going to continue to do the ones where I'm creating a design so you can see how I do that. But I'm going to try to do more where I just sit down and talk to you guys as well, because I haven't done that before. And I enjoy doing that. It's been fun for me today. So I'm so glad you have learned so much. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will, yay. Yeah, definitely pick up a new craft. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's therapeutic. And if you ever decide to make that into a business, then it could be profitable as well. So anyway, you guys take care, and I will see you the next time. Bye.